Welcome YouTube, F from Yorkshire Survivalist here. What I thought I'd show you today is just a bit of a survival kit I put together. This isn't quite a bug out bag. It's got no real food in it, no actual water, but it is the sort of thing that it's a compact survival kit. Keep it in your house somewhere, keep it in your vehicle, place of work, you know, the type of thing, you've seen it before. It's pretty self-sufficient. It's good to have a kit like this because say you can't get to your main bug out bag, you're well and truly in SHTF. This is the kind of thing that's gonna look after you for a while. It won't be comfortable, it won't be pretty, but it'll keep you alive. Alright, let's get into it. Start with the bag itself. This is a Gellert, don't know how you say it, 13.5 litre dry bag. These are pretty budget, coming at under a tenner I think. Pretty heavy duty. I've had this one for quite a while and haven't managed to break it yet. Pretty good quality. I went for the concealment black, just because I think it would be a bit safer once you're in SHTF to stay concealed. You might of course want to go for something more like this. It's high visibility and good for signalling. It's honestly just personal preference that I went for black really. On the outside, I keep this. This is a Canterbury climbing carabiner, rated at 36 kilonewtons, which comes to a bit over 3,500 kilograms. And that's a lot really. I mean, you'd be able to climb with this obviously. Stow gear, probably even tow a small vehicle if you had to. Also on the outside we've got a button compass with whistle, or whistle with button compass. Also a thermometer on there, useful to get attention obviously. And this is also on the outside. This is a fully waterproof diver's torch, dynamo powered, so it doesn't need batteries. Rated to 10 meters waterproof. Needs a bit of a wind up, but as you can see, it's got a strobe on there. I mean, it's no LED lenser, but it doesn't need batteries, and you know, it makes light. Okay, let's get into the main kit. Going back, point is, stuff on the outside is stuff that you're going to need either very quickly or even when you're trying to escape your building, whatever you need to do. Let's get into the kit. What I've got in here is, at the very top, a folding water bottle. These things are very cheap. This one costs just 50p. They hold 500ml of water, and I mean, it's not very tactical obviously, but you know, it beats drinking out of a condom, which is what most survival kits would have you do. Also near the top, I keep these ordnance survey maps of my, as you call it, my operating area, kept in a waterproof bag. I've just covered these up for privacy, but on the front I've noted a few areas of interest, let's call them, grid references and direction from my current location. Also on the actual maps themselves, the routes are highlighted. Also inside the map, I keep this. It's just a big, clear Ziploc bag that I can use for a map case or for whatever else in a survival situation. That'll hold water, quite a bit of water by the looks of it. Obviously use it for condensation trap, whatever you need to do. And then we get to the main pouch. Here it is. Also, obviously this becomes another container, use it to store more gear, water, whatever you need to do. This is just a British Army surplus utility pouch. It's one of the old ones. It's not MOLLE compatible, but you can get newer ones that are, if you needed that. There's a lot of gear in the front, so I'll come back to that. On the back, I keep a few bits and pieces that you'd need pretty quickly, namely the knife, obviously. It's just a relatively cheap, costs about £20. It's a Whitby knife, stainless steel, full tang, stays pretty sharp, it's a pretty good knife. Going back to the stainless steel part, it probably won't be everyone's first choice for a survival situation. People seem to stick the nose up at stainless steel, but my reasoning is, in a survival situation, you don't really have the resources to be maintaining a carbon steel blade. You won't be carrying oils, sharpening equipment would be very limited. So stainless steel is low maintenance, does the job, so that's the choice I made. Also on here, just another very cheap DSL multi-tool. Nothing fancy, it's no Leatherman. Obviously you've got the blade option, saw, screwdriver, tin openers, standard multi-tool stuff. And this is just a piece of 550 paracord with a Ranger band to keep it neat. This is specific to making a shoulder strap with the pouch. That's pre-tied on there for, well, just convenience really. Another loop here. Basically this unravels and the other loop there attaches to this carabiner. I've measured this all out. It turns into a shoulder strap. I've measured it out, make sure it fits, and I've tried it on. Basically it just takes some of the weight off your belt. Right, then we get to the main kit. Now there's a lot of kit in here, so what I'll do is unpack it and get back to you in a minute. Okay YouTube, so here's pretty much the entire kit laid out. I've tried my best to organise things into function, but this being a survival kit, everything is multifunction, so that's been quite difficult. So let's start with this. Obviously the pouch is empty now. In the real deal you could use this for something else if you really wanted to, but you'd probably just keep all this equipment in it. In the top here, on these pouches, you get this little pocket. Up there I kept a few water procuring items, 2 condoms, so that's 2 litres of water pretty much, 4 of these Oasis tablets, and that's it. Just quick access if you came across a water source. Down here I've still got the maps. You didn't see this one though. This is just a printed, photocopied road map that's been laminated. Obviously you can't navigate properly off this, but I'll just give a quick reference. Silver compass, obviously for navigation. There's loads of button compasses in this kit. I think I've got about 4, including the one you saw on the whistle. The reason for that is, in a survival situation you're probably going to doubt your gear quite a lot, so it's just to be able to cross-reference your information, and you might be able to trust it then. Moving along, shelter kit. We've got 2 heavy-duty black bin liners and a clear one. That's more in towards procuring condensation from vegetation. When you put it over, that's why it's clear. The black ones, obviously you can make rain gear out of it, make a small shelter. With the shelter gear we've got the standard sort of space blanket wrapped up to try and keep it a bit crushed down. Let's move on to first aid kit. This Ziploc pouch keeps it dry. It's got a few very basic first aid items in. Got a few antiseptic wipes and a load of plasters basically. Super glue there. Super glue is very good for binding skin. I'm sure you've probably done it by accident before, but if you've got a major wound, super glue is going to fix it. In addition to that, surgical cutting equipment. I haven't got a scalpel in here, but I do have these. These are 10 razor blades, stainless steel. They're all sterile in there. Also, I've got a few craft knife blades just wrapped up in this, but they're more for tool use than first aid, but if needs be, it's there. Electrical tape, loads of uses for that, but you can use that for dressing. Bit of range band on there just to keep it compact. That comes more into fire starting as well. While I've mentioned it, fire starting equipment, we've got lots of cotton wool smeared in Vaseline, bit more Vaseline. There's tons of uses for this. I mean, you can use it to look after your knives, lubricate knives, lubricate machinery. Obviously it's got its first aid applications and its fire applications. Here we've got a few waxed matches with an extra flint striker, or ferrocerium striker I should say, wrapped up in a waterproof bag. Standard Bic lighter, I've got a spare one in there as well. I like these, give a good flame, they'll last quite a while, and even when they do run out, it'll still throw sparks for you. Yeah. Also, if you get them wet, they will dry out and work again for you. We've also got a brand new ferrocerium rod. I've just tested it once there with its striker. A few hexamin fuel blocks. Obviously you could use those for cooking if you had to, but in this situation you probably use them for fire starting. Okay, that looks like it for fire starting equipment, except for in here actually. This is based on a standard BCB kit, BCB survival tin. In here I've got the wire saw that it came with, I've got a candle, as I said, the spare lighter, and another, there it is, compact striker, with compact flint even, with its striker in there as well. Also got a fishing kit, sewing kit in here, a bit more paracord, another whistle, and this thing's pretty good, I like this. You could get these, I found these sort of tent pegs that have LEDs on, and basically I just removed the LED element, and as you can see that's actually a pretty bright LED for the size of it. It just fit in that tin nicely, so it's good to have another spare. Speaking of lighting, I've got onto it. Two of these, they used to be British Army issue, I'm not too sure if they still are. See, it's got the NATO stock there. Basically they're fancy glow sticks is what they are. Also for lighting, got this, it's just a normal mag light, it's not the LED. A couple of spare batteries, and these are nice and durable. This is a pretty compact one as well. Signalling, obviously we've got the torches and the lighting that I showed you, but we've also got this stainless steel mirror. It just goes in this little leather pouch so it doesn't get scratched. That'll also come into your first aid kit as well, if you needed to look at your face or whatever. Right, food procurement. What we've got here is some slingshot elastic. This is from a Black Widow slingshot, so it's pretty good quality. Just the elastic tubing. Multifunction purposes for this. It makes a pretty good tourniquet if you needed it to. Obviously the tubing, you can extract water from hollows, things like that. Plenty of uses for tubing. It's often looked past really for a survival kit, but it's a good thing to have. I've also got this brass snare wire. It's actually sold as picture wire. I got this from one of the rather reputable pound shops. They were selling it at £1 for 3 meters of the stuff. It's just basically braided brass wire, and the fact that it is braided means you could separate it out if needs be and use it for something else, but I don't see why it wouldn't make good snare wire. Cordage, got 550 paracord, a bit more there, another bit in there. Obviously I showed you that 550 on the back of the pouch as well. Odds are I'd be wearing this paracord bracelet as well, but you can't really bank on that. For the tools, we've got a sharpening stone. This is just a very cheap one. I looked past this, sorry about that. Another first aid piece of equipment, we've got a US Army issue field dressing, just for more serious wounds. Over here, we've got, I won't bother taking it all out, but basically look, this is just filled with oats and some tea bags. I've got a bit of a brew kit in there, which is a very good morale booster. Also tea, if you boil it up for long enough, it releases quite a lot of tannic acid, which is a good, which has antiseptic properties. It's also in here, it's got a bit of a few salt sachets, like these. Salt's very important because when you're dehydrated, it's what you lose most. So, the tip is, for every litre of water in a survival situation, you add a teaspoon of salt. And that's a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. Don't make that mistake. Obviously, it's a metal container as well, so this would be a cooking implement. Speaking of cooking implements, we've got, this was basically what was, all of this was held in here really. British Army issue mess tin. These are just, I mean look, I can't even flex that. These are just bomb proof. This is a brand new one, so nice and shiny. Use that for signalling. Make a bit of noise with it if you need to scare off animals or get attention. And these for a survival kit, these are just the Oasis tablets. You can't have enough of these. I've got 30 here and another 4 in the top of the bag. So that's theoretically 34 litres. I mean theoretically because you'd probably add more if it's particularly manky water. This is just an extra whistle, another button compass on the top there, bit of ranger band for firelighting, and in here a load of plain cotton wool so it can be good for first aid and firelighting of course. These are just those sort of effervescent flavoured orange vitamin boost tablets that you can add to your water. You probably wouldn't be getting the nutrients you need when you're in a survival situation, so it's good to have a backup. Right, I think I've run through it all anyway. Just a quick discussion sort of thing really, something to think about. When you're making your own one of these, just remember, there's a few different things you can remember. There's the 5 C's of survival. Please remember what's first. That's protection, water. Please remember what's first. That's protection, rescue, water, food. That's it. Sorry. Then the 5 C's. Dave Canterbury uses that. If you want to see what he says about it, he's probably better than me. But the most important thing is, everything in your kit you have to know intimately, know how to use it, the applications of it, through and through, and it has to be multi-purpose, unless it's very, very important, because, let's face it, you've only really got this pouch, or something similar to this if you're making one, and you don't really have room in your kit for something that's only got one purpose. Obviously if it's important, like, say, the chem lights, they're pretty important. They don't really have to have more than one use, but everything else really should. Yeah, so that's about it really. If you have any questions about any of the kit you've seen here, feel free to comment, and please subscribe YouTube.